I'm being honest with you guys, man. The reason why this means so much to me is because I did this all myself. I put in all the work myself. I put in all the time myself. And this the first thing I ever put a full soul into. And everything has actually worked out. My life has actually gotten better. It started out behind the eight ball. I started out with everything negative, not even being able to walk, being able to be in the worst position I've ever been in. And slowly I've worked my way back, life wise, career wise, dating wise, didn't have none of that. I was able to start all that, and I was able to find my life and find everything that I'm meant to, and I call myself all the time. I'm living a fairy tale life, a life that is a dream to me that I was always meant to live, but I never knew how until I started following this spiritual path. And now I feel like I'm living the life that I was always meant to live because I'm facing challenges that I never thought I would face, standing up to things that I never thought I would stand up to, saying everything that I always wanted to say and I was always afraid to say. I feel like now I'm just embracing my feelings and letting it out, and I'm not holding back anymore. And I feel like that was the object of what spirituality was trying to get me to do, to stop holding back and unleash myself, unleash my true opinion, and unleash what I truly think about the world, and just be open and be honest, and let the world know what I think without holding back. I feel like that was the object of my spiritual gift, and that was the object of what God was trying to get me to see. Just by speaking my opinion is enough, and everybody should feel free to do it. Now, don't speak it in no negative way. Don't speak it in no way where you trying to end nobody else's dream or be negative towards anybody else. But if you're angry about something, let it out. Express it, then you'll grow from it because you'll grow to understand why you feel that way and why feeling that way is wrong or right as you go on with your life experience. Cause that's what I grew up and I had to do. I had to realize a lot of my experiences and opinions from when I was younger would change as I get older. But you have to express how you feel so you can grow from it. And that's what I had to do a lot. I had to express how I felt when I was younger, make those mistakes so I could come back and admit they were mistakes and admit and see how I've grown as a human being. So you can't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't be afraid to be wrong. You can't be afraid that it's always going to be right. You have to just let your opinion out and let your voice be heard. And that's the greatest thing the spiritual journey has ever taught me, that you have to be able to make those mistakes. You have to be able to be wrong. You have to be able to let people know what you think and let your opinion out there, because you never know what that opinion or what your voice could mean to somebody else. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. It's a natural part of life. And don't be afraid to be wrong. It's a natural part of life. You'll grow and you can learn to be right as time goes on, or you can learn what you did wrong and how to do better. Because that's what I learn every day. When I first started, I thought I was right, but I had a lot of situations where I had to grow up and realize I had made some of the wrong moves, or I said some of the things in the wrong way, and I grew up and I apologized and I changed it. As I got more experience, I started seeing the reason behind why I thought that way, and I've evolved and grew ever since. So just don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid that you have to, don't feel like you have to always have the right opinion, because you don't. I've made plenty of mistakes and came back and told y'all weeks later, months later, days later that I made the wrong decision or was thinking the wrong way. And now that I get older, I see it this way. But the one thing you should never be afraid of is sharing your opinion. Wrong or right, you should let it out and let people hear it. Then you should be open to criticism and open to letting people show you the right way. if you on the wrong standing of something. You can't be stubborn and feel like your way is the only way because it's not. Anybody can come up with a way, and just because it's the right way for them doesn't mean it's the right way for you. You just have to find a way that makes sense for you and maneuver that way, and life will get better. But you have to take your time and find your way. It's not going to come overnight. It's going to come over your life experience and what you go through, and live life for yourself in your own way. Don't try to live anybody else's life or anybody else's story. You can only live yours and be in yours. So I encourage you to just live your life, live your story, and find your own development in your own time. And let life work out for you the way it's meant to. As you keep going, life will get easier and your journey will get easier. You just have to keep going and keep living your life every day through every one of your experiences, and stop comparing and worrying about your experience compared to somebody else's experience. Just live your life your own way and focus on your own journey. The more you do that, the better your journey will go and the happier you will be, because it's something I had to learn to do from younger in my life to now. Now I just focus on my journey and what I have to do to improve myself, and I find more happiness in myself speaking what I truly feel and going through my own growth process than I ever did trying to live through somebody else's. But that's just me and my opinion from my personal spiritual experience, though. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. You can't be afraid to make mistakes, and you can't be afraid to speak your mind. If you make a mistake, you can always learn better. I always do, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion from my personal spiritual experience, though.